In this video, we will talk about games you have never heard us talk about.
And you will decide which one we review. Who will you decide? Who will we make? Who will find?
We each gonna present to you 5 games we have almost never talked about and just try to sell them to you, pitch them to you. You will then
decide which one of those we will actually review. Because we can't review all of them. We would like to. That's why we're pitching them.
So leave it down in the comments the games you want us to review.
Most commented game will get a review.
Let's start this battle between 10 really good games.
You thought I'm probably bringing war games, right? All 5 would be war games?
There's at least 2 war games for you, right? Is there?
Yeah. In this game, you're trying to capture and fight different magical beasts and monsters by playing combinations of cards. You can either strike the monster, or stomp the monster, or scream at the monster. So for example, to strike, I have to play cards in a row. And then if I scream, they all have to be the same color. 3 purple cards. To scream at the goblin, now I have to roll 3 dice, because I played 3 cards, and roll at least 5 or more. I did. Goblin is screamed at. It will give me 2 points, new card goes in, next player goes. There are special monsters that give you special abilities, there are monsters that give you points, and just when the deck of monsters runs out, who has the most points wins. Super simple, good game to teach kids about the odds, or grown-ups, because I feel like a lot of players don't know what the odds of winning a lottery is. Really nice filler game for the whole family, with a lot of dice rolling. Who doesn't like dice rolling?
You're starting lightweight, I will start lightweight. It's the Villagers of the Oak Dell.
What's with the wood theme?
Villagers of the Oak Dell is a simple roll and write game. We love those right here.
We love roll and writes.
You roll, then you write.
It's kind of self-explanatory, right?
You roll those dice and then you put them wherever there are these dice symbols.
So it's roll and place and write.
Yes.
Okay, it escalates. Plot twists.
These dice now open up different actions. So you take your meeple, place here, and now you can dig. Now you can create a road, and you can send these workers to do their stuff, which is usually create more roads. Who would have thought? But there's a lot of combinations, different choices. If you make a road here, then you can build this city, then you can make this house, then you can get these mines. It's a roll and write.
No. It's roll and place and write.
And get points.
Roll and place and write and get points in the Oak Dell.
Just nice, just like this cover. Did you mention you really like this cover?
I really like that cover.
You really like this cover.
I think the best roll and write cover I've ever seen. This is the one time when I can let my wargame energy and show you some games that definitely never heard us talk about. Probably never will after this. Unless you vote Combat Commander as the one game that needs to be reviewed. That'd be so awesome. Then he'd have to play war games. And then we... Hey. Okay, let's stop right here. What's the scariest thing you think is gonna be in this box?
Your mom.
I kind of thought you were gonna say dice. Guess what? There are no dice.
I didn't want to give you that satisfaction.
Damn you.
It smells like a game you haven't moved for a few years.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I would be interested in you voting for this. I could play it again. It's been a while. Even the rubbers are all ripped. Off to a great start, I have to say here. In Combat Commander, you're gonna pick a scenario, and there's a ton of those, and one player is gonna be playing the Germans, and the other player is gonna be either playing the Russians or the Americans. And in each scenario, you're going to have a goal that gives you points, and there's gonna be this victory point marker moving back and forth and back and forth. But the really unique thing about this game is this deck of cards. Because this deck of cards are the actions you're gonna be playing. There's an event, there's the action. It's also gonna be a dice roll. So if you need to roll a die, just flip over the top card and it tells you what die roll it is. Yes, it's random, but I mean, it's not super random. You're not gonna roll 12 3 times in a row because there's not that many 12 cards here. Last thing, sometimes it tells you pick a random hex. Then you open this card and there's a hex. Events, actions, dice rolls, locations, it's all on one card. This is one of the most narrative-driven war games I've ever played. With all these events and you feel like you're running around and things are blowing up like in the movies. Very cinematic is the word I'm looking for. It's one of the first 10s I gave to a game ever.
Well, there's your review. No need to vote for this game. Let's move on.
No.
One of my favorite games of all time is Lord of the Rings. What if I told you that there is the same game in smaller box, quicker to play, where you can play it with 4 people,
You can play the big one with 4.
Yeah, details. Well, here you go.
It's actually a different game altogether.
It's absolutely a different game, except name is the same. It's a card game where you have a set deck, and you can play these cards from the deck, and you can send them to quest, you can send them to fight. The cards that you play are really important. You're not gonna get a lot of them, and a lot of times you will have to destroy them, and the deck is slowly depleting, and you just have to do the right things at the right time. Very unique twist to the big one. It's nothing like it. But it's still an interesting genre that we could look at.
And there is an expansion coming out that would make this fully co-op. So, ooh. The next one for me is going to be something very unique Euro game, but a real-time Euro game. And everyone's like, what? And there are sun timers that will run out, and once they do, you can flip them to another place, and now that's available to place workers in. And it's chaotic, and how does that work as Euro game? Well, I guess we should do a review for you to find out.
It's like any other resource management game, only stressful.
Super stressful, but in a good way.
When we talk about unique games, we should continue to talk about unique games. Wormholes, where you all go against each other to create space travel. You're companies that want to quickly make these space tunnels.
Wormholes, you mean? It's kind of in the name.
Space tunnels. So you have to connect 2 different spaces on the map, and you will get points if you do that. So you have to do it quick and get points while you do that. But what is the very unique thing? While you're making these wormholes on the map, other people can use your wormholes and do the same thing that took you ages to get to the other space. Other people can go, I'll use your wormhole and place my wormhole next to it. Kind of also want them to do that because it will give you victory points.
Yeah, I get Ticket to Ride vibes from it, but like next level. If you like Ticket to Ride and want to try something heavier, then Wormholes will be it. But it's definitely very unique. This is a solo-only game. So you play Norwegians that are holed up in this fortress and are being attacked by Germany during the World War II. And you're trying to gather resources to give supplies to your soldiers. You're trying to dig out a lot of stuff out of the snow. Things keep jamming. You have to repair things. People get sick. You have to put them into beds. And there's not enough beds for everybody. So somebody has to wait and slowly die. And you have to heal them. And then you have to go behind enemy lines. And it's just so many things what's happening. But essentially, this is actually a worker placement game. You each round, depending on the supplies, how many of your tired troops you can get ready to go and do things, shoot at the Germans, or like I said, all kinds of different things. And there's some dice rolling and there's some random things. Like from all the war games of the world, this is the one you'd like the most because you don't have to play with me because it's a solo game.
Okay. Whew.
Yeah.
I was worried there.
That's the big sell here.
You fight there, you fight here. Circadians Chaos Order is a very conflict-based game. A lot of Euro elements mashed together with fighting. You have your asymmetric characters, your boards with special powers that can all work differently. There are multiple ways you can win, but you basically fight for control of territories and towers. And if you like Euro games, but find them boring because there's not a lot of interaction,
that's me.
Then this might be for you.
Let's
for sure.
go. Lands of Gazir is narrative driven, and by narrative I mean narrative. Half of the game you will be just reading through the story of what's happening. You play these anthropomorphic creatures that have their own personal agendas. You arrive onto this island and then there's something you need to do. But it's a co-op game. In each movie or a book, there's the main story, and then there are a lot of side stories. This is what's happening here. So you have your main story, something's brewing, something bad's gonna happen, and then you have your own agenda that you're trying to figure out and go through the story. And then you go meet people and talk to them and have skill checks, but very simple ones. I enjoyed this with my family a lot. It's very accessible, it's very colorful, it has nice components. The writing here is very good. Very good. I mean, Sleeping Gods level of good, if not better.
So you had a family game, family plus game. Let's go heavy. Right.
Let's go. I'm ready. So this is what you're talking about, right?
Teotihuacan, City of Gods, is a heavy Euro game with an interesting mechanism. In this game you can travel back to pre-Columbian civilization.
Thank you.
Did I pronounce it right?
I appreciate. Yes.
Okay,
10 out of 10.
Really good. Try to make sure that your people, your civilization is the strongest and best. And as in all Euro games, you just have to get most victory points, and that means you're the best one there ever has been.
And like in most of your games, you still don't roll the dice.
It's basically worker placement also.
Okay.
But you use dice as workers.
Okay.
We've seen that.
Yeah.
But they upgrade all the time. Whenever you move somewhere, you upgrade so they can do stronger actions. Try to build this pyramid. A really good looking game, interesting game, a heavy one for those gaming experts.
Now you get to decide which of these should we review.
Very different games, very different genres here.
No pressure.
And it's all on you. So vote in the comments and we will see which one we will review. And also check out our merch, because we have really awesome merch that we're really proud of, and that's a great way you can support us.